Right. Good afternoon, everyone. I love it. I know it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Lunch is probably settling in. And the room next door, we're going to have more energy than that. I know you have many places that you can be, so thank you for being here. My name is Dorothy. I lead product development for Microsoft Security Copilot and our brand new security store. And I will be joined later by my colleague, Dilip. Again, I know it's 1:30, but for the moment, imagine it is 2 a.m. at night. Your pager just went off. Your dashboard is lining up, and there's a spike in alerts. Your team is exhausted, and every second counts. What if, in that moment, you don't just have more data, you have an expert on your side, ready to help? So today, we are excited to show you how Microsoft Security Copilot and the platform, the ecosystem that we have built, is going to help you exactly in that moment, and how we're building the most comprehensive AI-powered security platform and ecosystem to help you and your team scale. Now, every day, security teams face an overwhelming flood of alerts, and that is something we are so familiar with. And with AI-powered attacks on the rise, we are reaching a breaking point. Each alert demands attention, and its stakes are high. And this is something no single analyst, responder, or team can face alone. Every day. Now, in these moments, teams need to be empowered. And empowerment could mean different things to different people and different roles. For a SOC analyst, it could mean getting context in seconds when she needs to investigate maybe a suspicious login. For a threat hunter, it's about mapping attack paths to devices, to identities. And for a CISO, it's about getting that comprehensive view across your organization. But no matter your role, true empowerment always means a better and stronger defense, less friction, and putting your teams firmly in control. We designed Security Copilot exactly for that, to elevate the human, to put your teams in control, not to replace them. And our goal is to make this kind of empowerment possible for every role, for every part of the security ecosystem. We launched Security Copilot about a year and a half, just a little over a year ago, and we launched agents in April this year to elevate human expertise, cut through the noise, and deliver measurable impact. And the results have been remarkable. And now, we'll hear directly from our customers about how Copilot is transforming investigations and helping teams stay ahead of threats. Let's play the video.
Security Copilot gives us the information we need for an incident in one location. You don't have to go to multiple dashboards, to multiple tools to pull in and to view the correlated data that you need to make an effective decision. Copilot helps us to pinpoint data that doesn't immediately stand out.
We saw a lot of measurable improvements. In fact, we did a comparison before and after using Copilot. We know that we save around 337 hours a week just from investigations. That's a lot of time saved, and that can be repurposed to something that is more proactive.
The security analyst can now write playbooks They can actually work together with threat hunters to really come up with use cases that are relevant for our industry. That was not possible before Copilot because they were doing more those repetitive tasks.
The results speak for themselves. Security Copilot not only help us focus on what matters most, it also opens new areas we can explore.
Copilot pulls the right signals together and suggests next steps. Analysts get to a defensible decisions within minutes instead of wrestling with tools. Investigations are more efficient and better documented.
Wade had the tool 2 weeks and he already came back to me and he said, holy crap, this is amazing. Because the amount of information that he gets from it was exponential, and we didn't have that before. And again, it's pulling from all those different areas and all those different parts of Microsoft to give us that overall view, that overall footprint.
This shift empowers us to anticipate threats rather than simply waiting for them to happen.
A lot of workflows have improved. Without Security Copilot in the past, we used to perform a lot of manual and repetitive steps. Now with Copilot, those steps are now reduced and automated. That saves a lot of time.
Security Copilot shows an immediate return on investment for any organization, and having Security Copilot will allow us to stay more than one step ahead of the curve in both realms.
With our intellectual property at stake, it is clear that we need more than a traditional defense. We need a solution that are intelligent and adaptive. This is why we turn to Security Copilot.
As you can see, we're seeing real-world impact on security outcomes. But based on your feedback, we're taking Security Copilot, we're improving it in 3 major ways. First, we're putting agents to work in the flow of where you work, and they're available at your fingertips. Second, with a dozen new agents, you have an AI expert everywhere. Third, but not least, we're putting our ecosystem now with 30+ new partner agents at your disposal. And that is the security store that we just launched with general availability yesterday. In totality, we now have over 60 partner-built agents and over 100 solutions in our store. And our goal is simple: to empower teams to see what attackers cannot see, to connect the dots faster, to have full context, and to act with full confidence. Let's start with how you can easily put your agents to work right in your existing workflow. Yesterday, we announced that Microsoft Security Copilot is now included in M365, Microsoft 365 E5. I posted that in LinkedIn. It was probably the most viral post that I've ever done. If you're already using Security Copilot, if you're an existing customer of Security Copilot, it's already included. And if you're a new E5 customer, or if you're a customer that has not yet Security Copilot, we're going to be rolling it out in the coming months, and you will get advanced notice ahead of time. Each tenant will receive 400 SCUs. And what does that mean? It's actually a very generous amount of AI that you can use to deploy our agents. And this means that every team, whether it's security operations, data security, identity admin, you can now have Copilot embedded in the tools you use every day. And that's what this announcement is all about: giving every role the ability to embed agents in your flow to protect what matters most, where work happens. Now, I'm going to bring Dilip up on stage to talk about exactly how we are bringing agents to work.
Thank you, Dorothy. Hey. Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. And the next 20 minutes, I want to walk through 6 real-world use cases of how Security Copilot is transforming AI SOC operations as well as IT operations. So I'll start with what just Dorothy said. This is a massive announcement. This is a big moment for us. which is now how do we get AI in the hands of customers, have you experience, and then increase the value of those services rather than putting friction upfront. So the friction upfront came not just from the purchasing process, but also how we had to have our admins who are security admins or IT admins go through this workflow. They have to go and specify where the data needs to be stored and processed. They had to sign up and set up an Azure subscription. They have to worry about how many SCUs have to provision versus overage, and then set up RBAC and permission. So this was the workflow that our current customers were going through, and what we have done is completely eliminate this friction. So starting today or yesterday, any customer who is in ME5, we've started with our first set of customers who are all the existing paid customers. Thank you for being early adopters. So all of you will have this kind of an experience where as the rollout happens, you'll see that in Defender, in Purview, Intune, and Entra, you have the experience of all the hero scenarios. You see that there was no step that I had to do. Just when you log into your portal, all those backend steps that I talked about, the Azure subscription, the data residency, all those where the data processing happens has already been automated and set for you to go. So you can go and just focus on how to get the benefit out of the service. So you have like, for example, in the hero scenarios in Defender are your fish triage agent. That's the #1 heavily used agent. Really, a lot of customers have seen huge value out of it. You saw from one of the customer stories earlier. And then the other capabilities customers really use it for threat hunting. That's a lot of good use cases there, and also incident summarization, as well as the guided response. So these are all really good use cases that you can start right away out of the box to experience with Security Copilot. So when you do go and use one of these, right, when you go into the incident tab, you can see that if you did not have Copilot, you just would have had the incident queue. But now it suggests that you already have a fish triage agent that can help you with it. So you go through the setup process. It'll tell you this agent will run every time a user reported fish incident is submitted, what permissions are needed. One of the big areas where we have invested is making sure that the agents are running with the right identity context, right? So if you look at agents, the most important thing is just like users have identity, what we have introduced with Entra agent identity is the ability for agents to run with that kind of a digital identity context, right? So that's a very key investment area that we've done. We choose what kind of roles and permission this agent would have. Once you're set up and running, you can see that the agent has started identifying issues, true positives, how many are false positives. This is where a lot of the value of the agent comes in. So that is where you can see that agents are already in your workflow, in your incident triage, and this is example of one kind of an agent. There are broader examples of agents. There's a breakout session that my colleague Corina has on Friday. I would highly encourage you to go attend those to see the richness of these Defender agents. So once you have that, this is an experience you saw in Defender, but it is the same if you're a data security administrator. You go into Purview, exact same experience. You'll go in, no additional setup needed. Security Copilot and AI features are part of the service. Same thing in Entra with Intune. So for example, in Purview, you can see in addition to the popular data security triage agent, you also have a feature called data security prompt books. So what the prompt books do is it's a sequence of prompts that lets you do certain tasks. It's pre-created for you. So you can go in and speed up all your data security investigation with those prompt books that we have given. You can also see on top another set of use cases where Copilot is there as a helper right in your workflow. It will tell you, okay, you're in data security posture management. You're probably interested in knowing which sensitive files from your critical SharePoint site were shared outside your organization, or what were all the devices from where that exfiltration happened. So it tries to be very context sensitive, and in that context, it gives you guidance on things that you could do. So that's how you get value out of the box. You can run these agents, you can run these kind of prompts yourself, you can chat with those as well. So now that we saw how easy it is to set up these agents and get it activated, let me walk you through a few examples of some of the new agents that we've announced at Ignite. So if you see the entire portfolio, our security portfolio has 4 main services. You have Defender for endpoint management and security. You have Entra for all your identity security. Intune for device management use cases, and Purview for all the data compliance and risk management. So across this entire portfolio, you can see the number of new agents. So you are familiar, I talked about Fish Triage. In Defender, it has got now a threat detection agent, a TI, threat intel briefing agent, and a threat hunting agent. Similarly, on Entra, there's new agents for access review, risk management of identities, as well as app lifecycle. And then Microsoft Intune has introduced 3 new agents in addition to their vulnerability remediation agent. And then Purview has 2 critical agents. They consolidated their DLP and insider risk into one alert triage agent, and they also have a data security posture agent. So rich set of portfolio available out of the box. Looks like they're happy. Okay. So let's start with a quick demo of these. So in the data security triage, number one problem that we have with our customers complaining is too many DLP alerts, right? It's flooding their queue. How do I get help from that? So instead of just focusing on all the alerts, once you turn on the agent and it's available, so there's some issue with the clicker here. Okay. So what it has already done is taken care of doing a first round of triage and said 16 of those cases are not as important, but 4 need your attention. So when you click on that, it has already done the pre-analysis in the background of what is the sensitivity risk, what is the exfiltration risk, what is the policy violation risk, all for this particular issue. And it's done the analysis as if a human analyst had written a report. You can read that and then make some decisions. In this particular case, when you go click level down, you can see that this particular user had potentially leaked credit card and social security information in one of the Excel files that they had uploaded to the cloud. So it immediately, normally the workflow stops there and you have to go chase down all these users. But what we've done now is the data security triage agent automatically figures out who's the user. It sends them a notification in Teams with the exact steps that they have to do, because the admin is not going to have permission to remove these files or change this. It's the actual end user who has to do it. And this is where most of the workflows were failing, but the agent now takes care of connecting directly to the end users and making sure that they've finished the task. See here it's saying you need to go remove the credit card and SSN information here. Maybe the user did the first step and then went off, his manager said something, they've gone off, they've not finished the task. It cleans up and says there's still one more task pending. It keeps on nagging the user again and again till they actually get it resolved. So this is a huge time saver for our customers because they don't have to now worry about it. They just look at their dashboard and said, okay, here were 20,000 files that were identified, and automatically they can track how much the agent has been helping them remediate these issues. So that's the case with Purview. And then moving on, in Intune, if you're doing device management, if you're an IT administrator, the number one problem that you would see here is change management. Because you have customers, you have large enterprises, 100,000 PCs and mobile devices. You make a small change to a policy or a patch or run a script that had some issues, then you're immediately impacting productivity of all your users. So what we have done there is introduce a change review agent. So in Intune, there is this feature called multi-administrator approval, MAA. So you can have one admin make some changes, another person actually reviews it before it goes into production. That's how you control change rollout. So the change review agent, what it does is runs in the background just like any other agent once it's set up. And what it will do is come up with a set of recommendations here. It's saying here, out of all the change requests that has come in, I would say approve the one with the custom registry and the enforce compliance for non-Windows devices. But the first one, which is the credential provider script, rejected. It has some problems. So what it does is you can go and see why it did so. It did a scan of the script. It did check with Defender Threat Intelligence Signal and found that there could be parts of the PowerShell script that was used that could have security issues and vulnerabilities. So rather than just blindly approving, because not everybody has the time to go through every PowerShell scripts that come their way, they assume it's been tested and validated. But here is a great case of the agent catching those issues and then putting, in fact, exact line number in code where they think it's problematic. This is a great case of AI and LLM doing the analysis like a human and then helping you with very specific actionable items. So now in this particular case, I've seen, and then I go ahead and then say, I'm going to reject the first one, but all the other tasks, I can go ahead and approve it. So that's an example of how an agentic workflow helps in Intune. And last but not least, Entra. Identity is another great domain where you have the same problem. Every day, our identity admins and SOC admins look at who are all the users who have a high risk profile and what is triggering that. So, and if you had to manually do this work, every day, it's going to be significant. It takes like 25 minutes to do one investigation. What this insider risk agent does is immediately can take those, cut down the hours, save you almost 47 hours. In this particular case, this tenant had 112 of these manual remediations happen. So you can see that how much time and effort that you can save through this. So it does this by checking the sign-in logs, it inspects all the audit logs, it analyzes all the risk detections and the history of this particular user, their login profiles, and then comes up with recommendation. Once again, once you get started, it's running in the background, and it's already done the recommendations and saying, when you open the risky user console, it's already agent is having a suggestion. It says, 2 of your users, you can dismiss that risk, it's not a problem. But for 9 of those use cases, you better reset the password right away. I mean, that's the recommendation, it's done. And then my first question is going to be, okay, fine, let me first take those instructions. I want to reset the password. What we have done is it's not just guidance, it gives you the actions. You can actually in one click bulk approve the reset of passwords, and it'll take care of that for you. But I'm curious, I want to understand why is it telling that. So what we have now done with Security Copilot is introduce a chat with an agent feature. So instead of just these agents running in the background, it's autonomous, you can now start interacting with this agent and chat with it. So the chat with the agent will go and ask, hey, why are these users at risk? What made them, their profile suddenly risky? So it will actually do the analysis and come back with, here are the 9 users, here is the reason why each of them is risk, because it will tell you, here is the IP address, it's anonymous, or this login profile of the user is standard with here, but it's suddenly coming from a new location. Whatever the reason, it provides that information. And not only that, it will give you all the risk factors for each user. And this was a really cool feature. It gives a timeline of how that user login has happened over the last few weeks or months. So you can see when the anomaly started happening, and you can correlate with other incidents in your enterprise. And last but not least, one of the common asks we got from our customers is, how do I customize this agent? This is great, it works for the majority of use cases, but I need some way to customize with my own knowledge. So this is a use case that we've been putting a lot of effort behind, and what I want to show you is how you can start doing that. So in this chat with this agent feature, when I see the list of actions that are there, one of the things I can tell the agent is, hey, remember to recommend reset password from user sign-ins for any anonymous IP address. So I've looked at this pattern, I agree with this analysis by the agent, but I want the recommended action to be stronger in this particular case. So once it does that and you chat and give that information, the agent comes back and says, hey, do you want to update the agent memory with this instruction? So this is a high privileged operation, don't give this for everybody. For those you trust and you can change it, this actually changes the agent behavior. So the next time the agent runs, this memory is added, and automatically any anonymous IP address, it will automatically trigger the workflow to reset the password. So that's the kind of capability where you've taken a core agent that Microsoft has shipped, and you've given your own inputs, and you've customized the actions that the agent can take. So I talked about how easy is it to get your agents working, because it's now included. We talked about some of the first-party agents from Microsoft, but we all know that our customers like you, everybody has a heterogeneous SOC or heterogeneous IT. Nobody has only Microsoft-only security products. Everybody has 70, 80 products. So the only way this Copilot story is going to work is if we can come together as a community and have the right agents in the ecosystem. So here's where we're very proud to announce the GA yesterday of our security store. And we have over 100 partners who attended our workshops and are building agents, but 60 of those agents are now on the store. So special thanks to folks like Tanium, OneTrust, Illumio, a whole bunch of other partners who worked with us from ISV, Bluevine, Dialink, and a whole bunch of other partners who helped us, Glucan-Kanya, who helped us with the MSSP perspective. So there's a massive opportunity. So if you're a partner in the room here, you can see these are great examples of partners coming, and it's an opportunity for you to go build your own agents and add it to the store as well. So let's take an example of some of these agents that will go from the store. So if you go to the Microsoft Defender portal, now for the first time on the left nav, you're going to see the Security Copilot node, and there's a security store now. So now you're seeing a list of agents that are curated specifically for the SOC persona. So you can see the list of agents that are available. You can see example of a domain spoofing agent that Dialink has built, or Glucan-Kanya has a forensic agent. Bluewind has a watchtower agent, right? So these are all good examples of agents that are going to help you in addition to the Microsoft supported agents. So let's say, take a look at one of those agents is of interest to you, say the Bluewind agent. You can go look at the details of it. This particular agent is doing a analysis of your health of your Sentinel environment. Is it correctly configured? Is there any misconfigurations that you can fix? So once you go get your agent, either you have a permission to purchase it or you send the link to your purchaser in your enterprise. It will be exactly like an Azure Marketplace experience, but curated for the security store. What is really awesome is when you provide this billing information and the subscription and details, it can leverage the existing Mac subscriptions that your customer, you've set up with Microsoft. So you can use it for Microsoft products, you can use it for these products from the store. So it just makes the whole buying process super simple. So once you have that set up and running, now the agent is coming back into the Defender portal. It's ready for setup. So you've purchased it, it's deployed now. And just like any other setup page, you'll be taken through the steps to set up the agent ID. But then once the agent is running, you can see that the output of the agent is directly embedded in the Defender portal. You didn't switch any portals, you didn't go across any consoles. The agent is running inside your console along with every other Microsoft agents. And in this particular case, it's pointing out there are some critical issues with your Sentinel configuration that you need to take care of. Okay, now we've shown how the partners are extending the ecosystem. But then there are so many customers that we work with that says, hey, Microsoft has great agents. I love some of these partner agents. But I have my own unique use cases. How are you going to help me with that? And that's where we'll now let you build your own agents as well. So you can build your own custom agents, just like you were building your own custom playbooks earlier. Now you can use AI to help you with those kind of automations. So what we have shipped here in the Security Copilot portal is a custom agent builder. And to keep it simple, because not everybody is an expert in AI, correct? So people can, at the best, write good prompts, but you're not going to be always the best AI engineer. And a typical AI agent requires you to have what model, what kind of tools, and what kind of LLM instructions that you can give it. So that's what makes up an agent. It's not a static if then else workflow. It is a dynamic entity that lives and thinks like a human operator. So in this case, to simplify the whole workflow, we allow you to just type in with natural language prompt, hey, create my agent from these criteria that I give it. So what we go ahead and we ask a few questions back and forth, but then we actually create the agent for you. So in this case, it's a post-incident report agent. And what we've done behind the scenes now, cracking open, you can see that we've selected a model GPT-5. This particular agent we think needs 2 input parameters, a number of days you want this agent to take input. And then what are the tools that it should use to get the data that you want. So all this, along with the LLM instructions, are put into the agent. You can go and now customize it. You can pick from a huge library of tools. We connect with MCP servers, so you can see a lot of this third-party tools are now starting to show up as MCP servers. So you can connect your third-party MCP tool inside our agent builder, and you can create your own powerful agents. Now you've created it, now you want to test this agent, right? Before you deploy it, you need to first see, is this working, and what is the accuracy of it? Here again, Microsoft, with the power of security research teams that we have a component that we've included called Auto-Tune. What it does is, as I mentioned earlier, every agent, the quality of the agent is directly proportional to the quality of your LLM instructions. Everybody thinks they can write great prompts, but it's not great when its agent quality is not good. So what we have built is a technology called Auto-Tune that will look at all the scores, your relevance, your coherence, your fluency of the response, and then it looks at it and fine-tunes the outcome of the agent till the quality. It will fine-tune the LLM instruction and then thereby fine-tune the agent output. And we also have a way for you to test what are all the paths this agent is taking, so you can see the dynamic nature of this particular agent. So you can see that those are all the steps, and of course, you're geeky and you want to go under the hood and peek, we also give you the raw YAML file. You can go and tweak and make changes there. So now you go ahead, build the agent, you publish this particular agent. Now it's available and you can start running it just like any other agent in your environment. And last but not least, we also are giving you the option to build your own custom agent with your own engineering team. If you have sophisticated engineering teams, then instead of the UI that I showed you, which is the low code builder, we give you also an MCP server. There's one unified MCP server across Sentinel Lake and Copilot that together you can actually go and create your own custom agents with it. So you can use VS Code, GitHub Copilot, and build agents with this as well. So with that, just a quick recap. So you can what we saw today was simplification of how to set up Security Copilot. You saw the rich ecosystem of agents that we at Microsoft has built, plus our partner ecosystem has built. And we also showed you how the Copilot agents, you can build your own as well. Their timing is pretty good for our session. So thank you. So the three steps that, just to recap, so we had that. But instead of just me talking about it, how about I invite one of you? With that, I would love to have Fabrizio on stage with us. So Fabrizio has come all the way from Switzerland to join us. Welcome. Round of applause for Fabrizio. So Fabrizio, why don't we tell more about AMAG Group? What do you guys do?
Hi guys, I'm Fabrizio. I'm working as a security engineer at AMAG. What is AMAG? AMAG is the largest automotive company in Switzerland. We import and sell cars from well-known brands, as you can see, Volkswagen, Porsche, Audi, and we're responsible for the security operations at AMAG.
Thank you, thank you. So Fabrizio, can you talk about some of the challenges your team faces? Because you said you have a small team, so what does your day-to-day look like?
We are a pretty small team, so we are SOC engineers, we are threat hunters, we are incident responders all at once, and our problem is time.
Cool, and so maybe can you share like some of the challenges you had in your SOC and how something like a phish triage agent or any of the agents really helped you?
So we receive around 30 incidents, user-submitted incidents per day, and in the past we didn't have like the time to analyze these mails because every mail means checking header, checking the logs. So we just turned off the feature, and the phishing triage agent was a game changer for us because now he analyzes the mail and gives us a report, so we can feel like a little bigger team.
That's awesome. And what advice would you give other organizations that are considering Copilot? Is there any advice you have for that?
Well, I would say start small, but start, because once you see how this agent works, you just want to expand it.
Awesome. And then of all the announcements that I showed or the team showed at Ignite, what excites you the most? Like what do you think when you go back, what are you going to do?
Well, as we had the success with the phishing triage agent, we wanted to expand the change review agent with the Intune team, and as well the conditional access agent to check our access policies and review it.
Awesome. I know it's a short and sweet conversation with Fabrizio, but thank you so much for your time. Oh, back to you, Dorothy.
Thank you, Dilip, and thank you, Fabrizio, for flying all the way from Switzerland. So as you saw, with a dozen new Microsoft agents across every role, with an agent store with our second-party and third-party agents, and the ability to build your own agents and really tailor these agents to your own environment, we think Security Copilot really is the most comprehensive agentic platform. It is, sorry, just go back to this slide for a second. It's built on Microsoft Sentinel, that many of you know, with hundreds of data sources that are brought together from across Microsoft as well as third-party data sources. And Sentinel Graph that we just launched earlier in September lets you connect the dots faster, connect those nodes and edges, and with purpose-built security traversal programs, and so that your teams can now see, think, and act faster than ever before. And it's all integrated into the workflow, into Defender, Entra, Intune, Purview, and more, right at your fingertips. Again, this means your teams can act quickly right in their existing workflow. And we started the session talking about that moment at 2 a.m. where your pagers went off, You saw your dashboard lights lighting up with alerts spiking, your team stretched really thin, and every second counts. Now imagine that moment turning into opportunities, that moment turning into a moment that you can seize. So now it's your turn. You heard about agents. You heard about how Fabrizio, a frontline security engineer, is for the first time using one of our agents, putting it to work where you were not able to do before. And so empower your teams with Security Copilot and Security Copilot agents. These QR codes you can scan to test our agents, explore demos, and access our resources. And now, if you are a E5 customers, as you know, Security Copilot will be included by default. And again, we'll notify you in advance. So thank you for joining us. We have a few minutes, so I am, it's not necessarily on the agenda, but happy to take questions.
Are there any questions from the audience that we can take?
Hard to see.
Maybe can you come to the mic front so the people online can also hear?
What is the rollout, I imagine the question is.
How you're planning to roll out to all the existing E5 customers?
Yeah, so we will start rolling out starting beginning of next year. It'll roll out in waves, and we will notify you 30 days in advance. But if you are a customer that with a Microsoft account manager in your account, let them know if you have reasons for us to prioritize your rollout.
Cool. Any other questions? If not,
Oh, yes,
Oh, yeah.
there's one here. Go ahead.
Yeah, just looking at the licensing model, how difficult is it to determine what consumes one SCCU? Is that right? SCU?
It's not, because you actually have a dashboard that shows exactly. You have a lot of, we've built this usage dashboard. You can see exactly how much of these features consumes SCU, and breaking down by monthly. We're also moving to a monthly SCU model, whereas today it's an hourly. So in a month, you can see what features are consuming how much SCU, and it resets after a month.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on that. I've seen some conflicting information. At first, it was that Copilot Security was going to be free. I've heard from you that it's 400 SCUs. I've seen documentation online that says it's 400 per 1,000 E5 licenses you have. Can you elaborate on what the exact amount
Yeah.
by default?
Let me be clear. It is 400 SCUs per 1,000 seats,
Okay.
with a cap of 10,000 SCUs.
Okay.
So if your organization has 10,000 seats, you get 4,000 SCUs.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
If you run one agent, like phishing agent for 1 month, what does that mean to the SCU? Like,
Sorry, what was your question?
like if I only have one agent running for 1 month,
How much is that?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the volume, right? That actually very much the phishing agent is running. Some of our customers has it. Actually, many of customers have it running autonomously on a daily basis. So it very much depends on the volume of the alerts that you get. And again, I would encourage you to just try it, and depending on the volume you get, it could be it could be less than one SCUs to more than that. But even we've stress tested, even some of the most highest volume customers, they're way below that 400 SCU limit. So it's a very, very generous amount.
Yep. It's
Hi.
a sliding scale too, right? So if you have 5,000 seats, it's 400 times that, right? So it's like 2,000 SCUs. So that we've not hit, any of our customers have not yet hit, but it again, as Dorothy said, it depends on the volume and number of agents that you're running?
Yeah, so there's different types of agents where phishing or DLP alert agents very much depends on the volume.
Yeah.
And then you have these intra-conditional access agents that are less about volume, but it's more about new apps and new uses you're getting, and you may not run it every day.
So I'll just go there. Hi. So, question about the SEUs itself. So I understand, right, it's included in E5.
Yeah.
So for non-E5 customers, what's the cost of it? And so can you also clarify how much is the cost for like one SEU? What's, how much?
Yeah, so for non-E5 customers, it's the same pricing model as we have, which is we have a provisioning model as well as an overage model. So if you're provisioning, you have 4 SCUs per hour, and when you need to go into overage, it'll be $6. But again, like I said, we're also moving to a monthly model as well. I think it'll smooth out the curves much, much more. And so as we roll this out more widely, look for documentation on our side. I think I'm very excited about this also move for non-E5 customers from hourly to monthly. This is a lot of feedback that we heard from customers as well. So you don't have to worry about, hitting workloads, hitting that hourly boundary. It's just, you look at it smooths out on a monthly basis. I love all the business model questions. It is one of the biggest changes that we've made, and I think lots of customers have been telling us it's one of the adoption frictions, and hopefully that removes it.
You can see, but there's somebody back there. Okay.
Way in the back here. I think there was an announcement.
I'm going to come down, actually. It's really hard to see.
Do you want me to go? I think there was an announcement, right, that there's not going to be DSPM separated now from DSPM for AI. It's going to be one DSPM.
Sorry. Let's wait for them to applaud.
I think there was an announcement that there's only going to be one DSPM, not DSPM versus DSPM for AI. So I think my question is on the Purview side.
Yeah.
Is there any roadmap for monitoring prompts and responses and AI interactions?
That's a great question. It is true that Purview is really consolidating DSPM, both AI for security and security for AI, two sides of the same coin. In terms of monetization, I actually don't know the actual answer for that, and so we'll follow up on that unless you know.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. If the DSPM agent was using SEUs, it's covered by that, but over and beyond that, any other extra costs in Purview, I think Purview team, we should have the right discussions on that.
If it spins SCU, it's covered.
Yeah. There's a question here.
Hi. Can you talk about the MCP server architecture? Is there going to be any data that potentially leaves the tenant of the user? You're leveraging that MCP architecture?
So can you repeat the last part of it, the MCP server architecture?
Is there going to be any data that goes through the MCP server that leaves the tenant?
Oh.
Are you guys connecting with anything else in relation to that? Does that update the data processing addendums?
It's a great question, right? So the MCP server would be similar to everything else that is there. It's like a graph API, it's just exposed in different form. So it adheres to all the guidelines of whatever RBAC and permissions that you have is definitely going to be adhered to. So it is available for you right now. The MCP server is to access your own Sentinel data, right? Through the lake or directly to the Sentinel tables. So you have tools within that do that. And then the second part of the tools is to help you build your own agents, the custom agents that I showed. So you can now access it through a pro code developer experience. So there's no data leak or anything outside of your tenant. It's purely in the context of your tenant. I think we are out of time now. So thank you so much for this and good questions as well. Thank you.